lesson 8.2, what are the two things we worked with being able to find yesterday? What was one of them? Cameron?
Axis of symmetry.
The axis of symmetry. Where does the axis of symmetry always go on a graph of a quadratic function?
Vertex.
It always goes through the vertex, right? The axis of symmetry. What kind of a line is it? What type of line is it? Other than straight, because all lines are straight. What kind of line is it? So remember, what is the axis of symmetry? If it goes to the vertex, it divides the parabola into two symmetric halves, right? So we got this parabola that's either opening up or it's opening down. So it has to go through the vertex. So what kind of a line would it have to be to go through the vertex? Isaac?
Straight lines.
All lines are straight. A vertical line. It has to be a vertical line. So the axis of symmetry, when you were finding the axis of symmetry yesterday, you were really finding the equation of a vertical line that goes right through the vertex. Okay? And it divides that parabola into two symmetric halves. Or in other words, if you actually had it graphed and you had the axis of symmetry drawn and you folded your paper over using the axis of symmetry as your fold line, one side of that parabola, that U, should lie right on top of the other side of the U. Okay, so that was one of the things we were finding yesterday, is what is the equation of the line that is the axis of symmetry? What was the other thing we were finding yesterday? There's another thing you did yesterday. Isaac?
Finding the domain and range.
No, I don't think yesterday we worked with domain and range at all.
Finding x.
Finding the zeros of the function. What are the zeros of the function? What does that mean, finding the zeros of the function?
When the goes over the x-axis.
Where the parabola crosses the x-axis. Where does it meet the x-axis at? So what's the x values where the parabola crosses the x-axis? And those are going to play another really important role coming up here pretty soon when we're trying to solve quadratic functions. Okay, today our goal is, some of you might not be able to see this, you just need to listen to me. Today our learning goal is I can find the vertex of a quadratic function. So algebraically, we're going to find the vertex of a function and be able to say what is its ordered pair name, because vertex is a point on the parabola. Okay, so that's what our goal is in today's part of lesson 8.2. So finding the vertex of a parabola from an equation. Step 1. Find the axis of symmetry to get the x value of the vertex. Because remember, that axis of symmetry passes right through that vertex, and every point on that axis of symmetry has the same x value. So once we find the axis of symmetry, remember it's going to be x equals a number, we already have our x value of the vertex. Substitute that x, step 2, substitute that x value into the equation to get what y value goes with it. So when you substitute your x value in and simplify the right side of the equation, the polynomial, the ax squared plus bx plus c part, that should give you your y value for the vertex. And then step 3, write the vertex as an ordered pair, because that's what it is a point on the graph. So we're actually on page 534 doing the check it out problem, but I already have it written here for us, so I don't think at this point we need to open our books. Okay. Y equals x squared minus 4x minus 10. What should be our first move in this one? Isaac?
Finding the A and the B.
Finding the A and the B. What helps us to be more successful finding the A and the B? Add the opposite. So let's change it to y equals x squared plus
Negative 4x.
negative 4x plus
Negative 10.
negative 10. It's going to be really important that we identify the A and the B properly, or we're setting ourselves up right away for getting the wrong x value of our vertex. So our A value is?
1.
1. Our B value is?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. And our C value doesn't count for anything right now, so don't worry about it. Okay, step 1. It said find the axis of symmetry, which we did yesterday. There's that little formula, x equals negative b divided by 2a, or the opposite of b divided by 2a. So let's substitute into that. X equals negative, or opposite of. What's going in for b upstairs?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Downstairs, 2 times 1. Okay. So don't try to do too much at once. Just leave that negative sign out front until you get your fraction simplified. So it becomes negative 4 over 2. And again, I said don't try to do too much in one step. Leave that negative sign out front. What is negative 4 divided by 2? Negative 2. So this really says the opposite of negative 2. What is that? 2. So x equals 2. So there's our axis of symmetry. We just found the axis of symmetry. X equals 2. Axis of symmetry goes through the vertex. So that means the vertex has to have an x value of what? 2. So we're going to do step 2, and we now know that x equals 2. We've just found that out. We know that the x value of our vertex is 2. So step 2 says, let's do our changing to add the opposite here. Step 2 says, find the y value, now that you know the x value. So we're going to substitute 2 in wherever there's an x, just like we did when we were graphing and completing tables. We had to substitute the given x value in. Some of you tried to go straight from here to an answer for y, and it got you in trouble lots of times. Let's be more patient, okay? What is 2 squared? 4. Plus negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 plus the negative 10 that's coming along. Let's just do the 4 plus the negative 8. What's that? Negative 4. And then we still have plus our negative 10. So y is negative 4 plus negative 10, negative 14. So we now know our y value also. Step 3, write the vertex as what? An ordered pair. So the vertex is ordered pair what? 2, negative 14. So we know a few things about this parabola right now. What direction does it open?
Down.
Why does it open up?
Because the a value is greater than 0.
Because the a value is bigger than 0. It's a positive number. So we know we have this parabola opening up. What else do we know? What else do we know? It doesn't have a 0. How do we know that? Because the y value isn't 0. Okay, let's just get kind of a rough sketch of what we think where this parabola is on the coordinate plane. It's going to open up. We know that much, but we don't know where it's going to open up. But what else do we know? What did we just find out? We found the vertex. It's an ordered pair 2, 1, 2, negative 14. So it's going to be a ways down here, isn't it? It's going to be, probably like maybe right here. And it's going to open up. Oh, do you think it's going to cross the x-axis? Yeah. In fact, it looks like it's going to have how many zeros? 2, because the vertex is not sitting on the x-axis. So it has to, and it's opening up, and it's opening up below, the vertex is below the x-axis, so it's got to have a couple of zeros. We don't know what they are, and right now we don't care, but I want us to start piecing together all these things that we're learning about quadratic functions. So it has 2 zeros, we know that much right now. We know it's opening up, we know where that vertex is at. There's one other thing we know. What else do we know? It's what we did in step 1. We did the A and B to help us find what? What did we find in step 1? The x, which was also the axis of symmetry. here's the other thing we found. Maybe you guys didn't understand what you were finding when you were finding the axis of symmetry yesterday. We just found the equation of the vertical line that cuts this parabola in two symmetric halves. X equals 2. That is the equation of that line. And the reason that we could say the x value of the vertex is 2 is because every point on that axis of symmetry has to have an x value of 2. So that vertex could have been anywhere along there. Well, we happen then to find where was it at by putting it in and getting our y value that goes with it. Okay? So, don't just do these things to get answers. You need to make sure that you're processing what's really happening. What am I really finding? And give yourself kind of a visual of it. Okay, let's try another one. Find the vertex of this parabola. Y equals 1/2 x squared plus 2x plus 3. Any subtraction?
No.
No. So let's go straight to doing what?
The A and the B.
The A and the B value. Okay, so the A value is
1/2.
1/2. The B value is
So 2.
2. Do we need the C value?
No.
No. We're going to substitute into x equals the opposite of b divided by 2a. That's step 1. So, we'll substitute in. What's going in for b?
2.
2. Downstairs, 2 times what?
1/2.
1/2. So it looks kind of scary for a little bit because there was a fraction in it. But I'm not feeling too bad anymore because there's my negative sign that's out front. There's my 2 upstairs. What's 2 times 1/2?
1.
1. Or in other words, what's 1/2 of 2? It's 1. Okay, so then what is, leave that negative sign there for a bit. What's 2 divided by 1?
2.
2. Do I need to clean that up at all, or is the opposite of 2 staring us already in the face?
X equals 2.
X equals 2?
The opposite of negative.
Opposite of, no, this is the opposite of 2. What is the opposite of 2? Negative 2. Isn't our answer right there already staring us in the face right here?
Yeah.
X equals negative 2. Okay. Step 2. What do we do in step 2?
Pi
Put it into the equation to find the y, yes. So we're going to write down our equation. Let's put it down. We had 1/2 x squared plus 2x plus, I don't remember what the c value is now, 3. Okay? So we'll substitute in. So y equals 1/2. I'm going to put what in for x?
negative 2.
Negative 2. I'm going to put what in for x in the next term?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Same thing again. X is negative 2. And then we have our plus 3. Okay, we're not going to do too much at once here. What do we do first here? Do we take half of negative 2? Or do we take negative 2 times itself? Negative 2 times itself. So we're going to say that 1/2, you're just going to stay there. 1/2 times what? 4. Negative 2 squared is 4. It's the only thing we're going to do with that term. What's 2 times negative 2? Negative 4. And then our plus 3. So y equals, what's half of 4? 2. Because it's all straight addition, can I just add these two right now? Does it matter who gets added together in addition? No. So what's negative 4 plus 3? Negative 1. And y equals? Positive 1. Circle that so you can see that, you know what, you've got the y value now of what? What is that the y value of? Of what though? What point? Vertex. We were looking for the vertex. So we found a point from the parabola where we specifically found the vertex. So step 3, says write it as an ordered pair. So our vertex is
-2.
-2, 1. That's our final answer. Okay, does this one open up or open down?
Down.
Why?
-2.
Why is it open down? Because we
It's
got x
lower
equals
than
-2.
It's less than 0.
Lower than 0? What's the a value?
1/2.
1/2. Is that less than 0?
That's a little bit more.
It's a little bit more than 0, so it's positive. Will it really open down? No, it will open up. Yeah, it's going to open up, and we're eventually going to learn too that the fact that it is a little, just a little more than 0 is going to do something to its fatness and its, how wide it will open and stuff. But it will open up. Okay. Anybody think they know where, if it has any zeros or not? What do you think? Do you think this one has any zeros? Do a rough sketch on your paper. Just try and just roughly sketch this parabola. What do you think? It's not going to have any zeros. Okay, go ahead and verify that with a picture on your notes. Just like we did with that last one.
So we have 2.
Okay, Stefan says there's no zeros. Anybody want to agree with Stefan? He thinks there are no zeros at all. No zeros meaning it does what? Doesn't ever touch across the x-axis. And then Isaac says there's 2. Anybody want to agree with Isaac that your drawing supports 2? Okay, so there's the vertex, right? -2, 1. There's the vertex. And what did we say it opens? Up. Is it ever going to cross the x-axis? No, it's not, is it? No. Okay, so this one would not have any zeros if we ended up having to answer that question. And notice we don't even have to have any more information than we have. We're still able to answer that because we know enough about these. Okay? So any questions about any of it that still isn't clear? Okay, you only have 6 of these to do for homework, but you need to show this much work. Okay?